Hello, my darlings. Today we are going to talk about something very important, something for the men out there who have crossed that fabulous threshold of 60 years. You know who you are. Maybe your hair has gone a little silver, or it's made a dramatic exit altogether. Maybe your joints make noises that sound like bubble wrap every time you stand up. Maybe naps have become your best friend, right alongside your loyal recliner and that favorite television remote. But let me tell you something, age is just a number. Yes, it is. What matters is how you feel, and even more than that, it's what you do every single day to feel your best. I'm here to help you with that. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go out and run a marathon unless you really want to, and in that case, good for you. But I am going to tell you something very simple, something easy, something that doesn't even require you to put on pants. Just 3 vitamins, that's it. 3 little nutrients that can make a world of difference in how you feel every single day. We're talking about energy, vitality, zest. Yes, zest. You remember what that is. That spark you had when you used to chase dreams or dates or both. That fire inside that says, I'm not done yet. That's what we want to protect. That's what we want to enhance. So let's talk. Not in a clinical, boring way. I'm not going to throw around $10 words or scare you with complex chemistry. No, no. This is going to be just like a conversation we'd have over a nice cup of tea, or maybe something a little stronger, if it's after 5 o'clock. I'm going to tell you why these 3 vitamins are your new best friends. I'm going to tell you how they help your body, your mood, your mojo, and I'll tell you how to take them simply, consistently, and safely, because I want you to feel fantastic. I want you to wake up in the morning and say, hey, I feel good today. You deserve that. You really do. Now let's get something clear right from the start. Taking vitamins is not a replacement for living well. No pill is going to fix bad habits, my dear. If you eat like a raccoon in a garbage can and you never move your body, no vitamin can save you. But, and this is a big but, if you're doing your best, eating decently, getting a little exercise, maybe walking around the block instead of watching the squirrels do it, then these 3 vitamins can take you from A, I'm okay, to wow, I feel like myself again. And that's something worth striving for. Let's begin with the first one. It's called vitamin D. Yes, you've heard of it. The sunshine vitamin. Sounds nice, right? But here's the thing. As we age, we tend to get less of it. Maybe you're not outside as much. Maybe you slather on sunscreen every time you go to the mailbox. Or maybe you live somewhere where the sun is more of a rumor than a reality. Whatever the reason, most older adults, especially men, have lower levels of vitamin D than they should. And that's a problem. Why? Because vitamin D does so much more than just help with bones. Sure, it's important for keeping your skeleton strong and steady, and nobody wants brittle bones, especially when the driveway is icy. But it also plays a big role in energy. Yes, energy. If you're feeling tired all the time, sluggish, like someone pulled your plug out of the wall, low vitamin D might be one reason. It also supports your immune system, which is the little army inside your body that fights off germs. And believe it or not, it even supports mood. That's right, vitamin D is linked to happiness. Who knew the sun could make you smile from the inside? Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Can't I just sit in the sun and get it? Maybe. But not always. As we get older, our skin doesn't make vitamin D from sunlight as efficiently. It's like a war, not solar panel. So even if you're soaking up rays, you still might not be getting enough. That's why I recommend taking it as a supplement. It's simple. 1 little pill a day, usually in the morning, and you're good to go. Most people do well with 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day, but talk to your doctor, especially if you're on medications or have health issues. We want to make sure you're doing this right. Okay, are you still with me? Good. Because now we're going to talk about the second vitamin, and this one is a powerhouse. It's called B12. Oh, my darling B12. This vitamin is like fuel for your brain and your body. It keeps your nerves humming, your red blood cells happy, and your energy levels right where they should be. Without enough B12, you might feel foggy, forgetful, or like you need a nap every 5 minutes. Sound familiar? It might not be just age. It might be your B12 levels waving a white flag. Here's the kicker: as we get older, our bodies don't absorb B12 as well from food. That's right. Even if you're eating steak or eggs or fish, which are good sources, your body might not be grabbing onto the B12 the way it used to. This is especially true if you're taking certain medications like acid blockers for heartburn. They make your stomach a little too gentle, and B12 needs some toughness to get where it needs to go. So a lot of older men end up low on B12 and don't even know it. That's why taking B12 as a supplement is such a smart move. It comes in little tablets, or even those cute little dissolvable ones that go under your tongue. I like those. Some people need shots, but most can get by with a daily or weekly supplement. The dosage can vary, so again, check with a professional. But don't ignore this one. If your get up and go has gotten up and gone, B12 might help bring it back. And now the third one, my personal favorite, coenzyme Q10. That's a mouthful, I know. We'll just call it CoQ10. Sounds like a dashing secret agent, doesn't it? CoQ10 at your service. But here's the thing: this isn't technically a vitamin, but it behaves like one. It's a compound your body makes naturally, and it helps your cells produce energy. Yes, energy again. Are you sensing a theme here? CoQ10 is especially important for your heart. That wonderful, hard-working engine in your chest needs CoQ10 to keep pumping strong. As you age, your body makes less of it, and certain medications, like statins, can lower it even more. If you're taking a statin for cholesterol, listen to me now, you may need CoQ10. Many men over 60 are on statins, and many of them are tired all the time. Coincidence? I don't think so. CoQ10 can help restore that lost energy, support heart health, and even help with muscle fatigue. Some men say they sleep better and think clearer when they take it. And no, it's not magic, it's biology. You'll usually find CoQ10 in gel caps or soft gels. Take it with a meal that has a little fat, it absorbs better that way. And be consistent. This is not a one and done kind of thing. It's like watering a plant a little every day, and over time you see the difference. So let's bring it all together, my darlings. Vitamin D for bones, mood, and immunity. B12 for brain function and lasting energy. And CoQ10 for your heart, your muscles, and that beautiful spark inside you. 3 little helpers. Easy to find, easy to take, and absolutely worth it. Now I know some of you might be skeptical. Do I really need all this? You're thinking, let me ask you something. Do you want to spend your days feeling half alive, dragging yourself from one chair to another? Or do you want to feel strong, clear, awake, maybe even a little frisky? Because that's the thing. When you feel good physically, everything else improves. Your mood, your relationships, your sense of purpose. You become a better partner, a better grandpa, a better friend, and most importantly, a better you. You're not too old, you're not too late. There's still so much good life in front of you, but you have to take care of the machine that carries you through it. You don't have to climb mountains, but you do need to nourish your body. Just like you wouldn't put cheap gas in a classic car, you shouldn't be running on empty at this stage in life. You've worked hard, you've built a life, you've earned the right to feel great. So tomorrow morning, I want you to look at those little bottles of vitamins and say, "This is my gift to myself today." Then take them, smile, and go about your day. And little by little, you might just notice that you're walking a little faster, thinking a little sharper, smiling a little more. That's the power of small changes, my dear. That's the beauty of giving your body what it truly needs. And remember, it's never too late to start feeling better. Not at 60, not at 70, not at 90. Age doesn't define you, your spirit does. So nurture it, feed it, and give it a little boost when it needs one. You are not done yet. Not even close, of course, my darling. Let's keep going. We're not done yet. Because feeling full of life, full of energy, full of that good old-fashioned spark. That doesn't come from just popping a few pills and crossing your fingers. It comes from showing up for yourself every single day. It comes from being curious, committed, and maybe just a little stubborn in the most charming way. So let's keep talking about these three wonderful nutrients, vitamin D, B12, and CoQ10, and how they don't just help you physically, but how they touch every part of your life, including the ones people don't always talk about. But you know me, I always talk about the things people don't. Let's take vitamin D again, for instance. We talked about bones and mood, yes, but what we didn't talk about yet is how closely this little nutrient is tied to testosterone levels. Now, I'm not going to get too scientific on you, because I can see your eyes already glazing over, but here's the thing. Testosterone is the hormone that keeps you feeling like a man. I'm not just talking about bedroom stuff, although yes, that too, but also your confidence, your drive, your muscle strength, even your sense of "I can still do this." And low levels of vitamin D have been shown to correlate with lower testosterone in men. So when you take vitamin D regularly, you're not just helping your bones, you might also be helping your manhood. And isn't that worth swallowing a small pill each day? Some men say to me, "But I don't feel depressed. I'm just tired." And I say, darling, fatigue is often depression in disguise, especially in older men who are taught not to talk about their feelings. You know the type, quiet, strong, doesn't want to complain. But when you start supplementing with vitamin D, the fog can lift in ways you didn't even know you needed. You might start feeling more optimistic, more motivated, more yourself. It's not a miracle. It's chemistry meeting care. Now B12, oh, I adore this one. It's like the spark plug in your engine. If your body were a car, B12 is the part that gets everything firing just right. And when it's missing, things slow down, your thoughts drag, your legs feel heavy, even your digestion gets sluggish. That's right. Low B12 can mess with your stomach. You might think, "Oh, I'm just old. Things don't work like they used to." But no, sometimes it's just that your body's not getting what it needs to run the way it was designed to. And here's something most people don't know. Low B12 can mimic dementia. Yes, really. Some men are misdiagnosed with cognitive decline when all they really need is more B12. I'm not saying it's a cure for everything, but I am saying it's worth checking. You see, this isn't just about energy, it's about dignity. When your brain works better, you hold on to your independence longer. You stay sharp, you remember names, appointments, jokes, and what's life without a good joke or two, right? Now listen, some of you might be vegetarian or vegan, and if that's the case, you absolutely must be taking B12. It's not negotiable. Plant foods don't provide it in any meaningful way, but even if you're a meat-hand, potatoes kind of man, age still affects how your stomach handles B12. You don't have to change everything. Just support your body where it's asking for help. And now back to our secret agent friend, CoQ10. This one's fascinating because while it supports energy at a cellular level, it also helps protect your heart from stress. And no, I'm not just talking about cholesterol or blood pressure, although those matter too. I'm talking about the kind of stress that creeps up on you, the emotional kind, the worry kind. The kind where you lie awake at night thinking about your family, your finances, the state of the world, your health. All those thoughts put strain on your heart. CoQ10, in its quiet little way, helps your heart cells stay strong and steady, even under pressure. And here's something else. Some studies have shown that CoQ10 can improve exercise tolerance. That means your walks become easier, you breathe better, you recover faster, and if you're someone who's had heart problems or surgeries, CoQ10 becomes even more important. It's like giving your heart a little armor, and who doesn't want that? I once knew a gentleman, let's call him Frank, who started taking CoQ10 after his doctor recommended it post-bypass surgery. He told me, "It's the first time in years I didn't feel like my body was fighting me." And he wasn't running marathons, but he could play with his grandkids without feeling like he needed a nap afterward. That, my dear, is vitality. That's what we're talking about. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds nice, but is it really necessary? Isn't getting older just tiring? No. Let me tell you something that too many people have forgotten. Aging does not mean diminishing. It means evolving. You've earned your years, you've earned your wisdom, your stories, your scars, but just because the calendar says 60, 70, or 80 doesn't mean you have to accept exhaustion as your new normal. You are allowed to feel good. You are allowed to wake up and say, "Today's going to be a good day," and you're allowed to do what it takes to make that happen. These 3 vitamins, they're tools, not crutches. They're not for weak men. They're for smart men. Men who know that taking care of yourself doesn't make you less masculine, it makes you powerful. Now, let's talk about quality. Not all supplements are created equal. You don't want to just grab the cheapest bottle from the back shelf of a dusty store. No, darling, you want to look for reputable brands, clean sourcing, proper dosages, third-party testing, if possible, and don't be afraid to ask questions. There's nothing embarrassing about wanting to understand what you're putting in your body. In fact, it shows strength, and consistency matters. You can't take one vitamin in one day and then forget it for a week and expect results. This is about daily support, like brushing your teeth or changing your socks. You make it part of your rhythm. You commit. You don't need to make it complicated. Just line up the little bottles next to your coffee mug if you have to. Whatever works. And no, supplements alone won't do all the work. I would be lying if I told you otherwise, but they will give you a strong foundation. And once you start to feel better, you'll naturally want to do more. You'll start walking more, maybe cooking more, maybe even dancing. Don't laugh. I've seen 75-year-olds waltz better than 25-year-olds because they feel good in their bodies and they're not afraid to enjoy themselves. And when you feel good, that part of you that maybe went quiet, the playful part, the romantic part, the curious part, it wakes up. Suddenly you want to engage, you want to flirt a little, you want to try something new, maybe even learn how to use that strange little smartphone your grandson keeps trying to explain. You want to connect. And that, my dear, is vitality. That's what these vitamins are feeding. Not just your body, but your life. I want you to be that man, the one who surprises everyone, the one who still has a twinkle in his eye, the one who shows the world that age is not a weakness. It's a badge of honor, worn with vitality, with strength, and with a dash of humor. I want you to walk into a room and still feel like you matter, because you do. You're not done loving, not done laughing, not done living, not by a long shot. And if a few little capsules each morning help you feel just 10%, 20%, 50% better, isn't that worth it? Isn't that better than sitting back and letting time steal something you can still hold on to? You've given so much in your life, maybe to your family, your work, your community. Maybe you've sacrificed your own needs for decades. Now it's your turn. It's time to invest in you, not because you're selfish, but because the people who love you want you around. and not just sitting in a chair. They want you alive, alert, vibrant. They want your stories, your hugs, your jokes, your presence. But first, you have to want that for yourself. So take the vitamin D, because your bones, your mood, and your hormones will thank you. Take the B12, because your brain is too precious to run on empty. Take the CoQ10, because your heart has worked hard and deserves support. And do it not out of fear, but out of love. Love for your life. Love for your future. Love for the man you still are, and the man you are yet to be. And yes, you can still be more energetic, more curious, more vibrant. That doesn't end because the candles on the cake are more numerous. If anything, this is the time when you finally get to live for you. So why not give your body the ingredients it needs to do just that? And if anyone tells you it's too late or not worth it, smile politely and then ignore them completely. Because you're not living their story, you're writing your own, one good day at a time, one vitamin at a time, one beautiful, vital, energized breath at a time. Of course, my dear, I'm absolutely delighted to continue. Let's keep this going, just like we're sitting together in your cozy living room. Maybe you're in your favorite chair. Maybe the window's cracked open with a breeze. Maybe there's a cup of something warm by your side. Because we're not just talking about vitamins anymore, not really. We're talking about a bigger picture. We're talking about what it means to stay fully alive as a man over 60. How to live with energy, purpose, and that mischievous little twinkle in your eye that says, I've still got something left to give. You see, these three nutrients, vitamin D, B12, and CoQ10, they're really just symbols. They're messengers. When you take them every day, it's like making a small, quiet promise to yourself. It says, I care about how I feel. I care about my body. I care about my life. And don't underestimate how powerful that promise is, especially at a stage where so many people stop making those kinds of commitments to themselves. The world has this terrible habit of acting like aging is a decline, like it's the start of the end. But I don't buy into that, and neither should you. This isn't the end, it's a season of refinement. You're not fading. You're distilling. You remember when you were young, and you thought men over 60 were old. And now look at you. You're here, still thinking, still growing, still capable of laughing at things you probably shouldn't, still learning new tricks. Maybe a little slower getting out of bed, maybe a bit more careful on the stairs, but you're here. You're upright. That means there's still time, and when you add something as simple as these three nutrients into your life, you're reclaiming that time in ways you may not even expect. I spoke once with a man who had just turned 70. He'd lost some of his drive. He told me he just didn't feel like doing much anymore. His mornings started slow and ended earlier than they used to. He'd sit in his chair and watch the same shows every day. And when I asked him if he was sad, he said no. But he wasn't happy either. He was just flat, and oh, how common that feeling is. Flatness. Not sadness, not despair. Just a kind of quiet, creeping gray. The light dims not all at once, but in tiny flickers, and that's where something like B12, like vitamin D, like CoQ10 can be a match in the darkness, one spark, and then another, and another, until suddenly you feel like turning the music up again. Not loud enough to disturb the neighbors, just loud enough to remind yourself you're still here. Energy and vitality don't mean you have to leap out of bed like a teenager. No, no. I'm not promising you the energy of your 20s, and frankly, who wants that chaotic mess back anyway? But vitality is different. It's deeper. It's waking up and feeling a yes inside you instead of a heavy sigh. It's the ability to say, sure, I'll go for a walk, or yes, I'll meet the guys for lunch, or even let's take a trip, why not? It's having options. That's what health is, options. When you're unwell, your world shrinks. But when you feel better, everything opens back up. Your mood lifts, your mind sharpens, and suddenly your days are not just filled with tasks but with potential. And let me say this as clearly as I can, my dear, you are not selfish for wanting that. You are not selfish for wanting to feel good. You've spent so much of your life taking care of others. You've been the provider, the fixer, the strong one. And maybe now that the kids are grown, the house is quieter, and the phone doesn't ring quite as often, you're looking around and wondering what's next. This is what's next, taking exquisite care of yourself with the same dedication you once gave to everyone else. Now let's go a bit deeper into what these nutrients actually feel like once they begin to take hold. It's not dramatic, like flipping a switch. No, it's subtler, gentler. One morning, you realize you don't need that second cup of coffee to feel awake. A few days later, you notice your walk around the block didn't leave you winded. Then you're sleeping better. Your dreams are clearer. You wake up feeling actually refreshed. Maybe you find yourself laughing more. Maybe you start remembering people's names without needing to pretend. And somewhere along the way, you look in the mirror and think, hey, there you are. That man you knew, the one with spirit and spunk, he never left. He was just tired. He just needed some help. You know what else happens when you start taking better care of your body. Your relationships shift. Your partner notices. Maybe you're more affectionate. Maybe you're more present. Maybe you start initiating things again. All kinds of things. And let's not be shy about this. Sexual vitality is part of the picture. Yes, even at 60, 70, 80 and beyond, your desire doesn't just disappear, it hides. It waits for the body to feel safe, energized, capable, and once your energy returns, so does your interest. Intimacy doesn't have to fade with time. In fact, for many people, it becomes richer, more tender, more fun. But only if your body and mind are awake enough to enjoy it. And let's talk about confidence, because that's something every man needs at every age. There's a special kind of confidence that comes with feeling strong inside your own skin. You walk differently, you speak with more conviction, you make eye contact, you engage. That's what vitality does. It gives you back that quiet assurance that says, I know who I am and I like him. And when you feel that way about yourself, other people can't help but feel it too. The truth is, we live in a world that doesn't always see older men. You become invisible in stores. People talk over you, not to you. The younger generation might treat you like a relic, even though you've lived 10 lifetimes more than they have. But let me tell you this, you are not invisible, you are not done, and you do not need permission to take up space, to feel vibrant, to enjoy your days. You only need the willingness to take that first step to begin. Sometimes that step is something simple, like adding a small capsule to your morning routine. It seems like nothing, but it means everything, because it's not about the capsule, it's about what it represents. It means you're still investing, still showing up, still giving a damn, and yes, that matters. I don't care if you've never taken a supplement in your life. I don't care if you don't know the difference between a vitamin and a mineral. What I care about is that you start now, today, right where you are. Maybe it starts with one of them. Maybe it's just vitamin D for a few weeks, and then you add the others. That's fine. No race here. You take your time, but you start, because momentum is a beautiful thing. The first improvement leads to another, and before long, you've changed your entire rhythm, not dramatically, not loudly, but steadily. And the people around you, they notice. Your kids start asking for your advice again. Your friends call more often. Your partner smiles when you walk into the room, because you've come back to yourself. And it's never too late. I've seen men in their 80s begin to bloom again. Men who thought they were winding down and suddenly found themselves planning trips, joining groups, even falling in love. And no, it wasn't just the vitamins. It was the decision to stay engaged with life. The supplements helped, but the spirit drove it. And you, my dear, you have that spirit too. I can feel it. Maybe it's a little buried under years of hard work and a few disappointments, but it's there. Waiting, ready. There's a certain kind of peace that comes when you know you're doing what you can. When you stop feeling like a victim of your body and start feeling like a partner to it. Your body wants to feel good. It's not against you. It just needs support. Give it that, and it will surprise you. It will rise to the occasion. It will give you mornings that begin with energy instead of groans. Afternoons that don't require naps unless you want them. Evenings filled with connection instead of collapse. That's what we're aiming for, not perfection, just presence. And as you begin to feel better, you start to dream again. Maybe not big, flashy dreams, but real ones. Maybe you want to write that book you always thought about. Maybe you want to finally organize your old photos and tell your stories. Maybe you want to plant a garden. Maybe you want to take your partner dancing again. That's the beauty of vitality. It wakes up your imagination. It reminds you that life is still being written. You still have things to do, people to love, laughs to share, and maybe even a few surprises up your sleeve. So take your vitamins, drink your water, move your body, rest when you need to, but don't stop dreaming, and don't let anyone, especially yourself, tell you that it's too late, because as long as you're breathing, it's not. So, my dear, if there's one thing I want you to take away from all this, it's that your story isn't over, not even close. These 3 little vitamins, vitamin D, B12, and CoQ10, are not just about science or numbers on a label. They are about giving you the energy, the clarity, and the spark to keep living fully, deeply, joyfully. They're small things that make a big difference, not because they're magic, but because you are. You are still here, still capable, still worthy of feeling good. Every single day you choose to care for your body is a day you choose life, not just surviving, but thriving. So take the vitamins, take the walk, take the chance to feel better. Because you deserve that. And the world still needs everything you are.